Hey everybody, it's Eddie from Tokyo. This is your cryptocurrency update from Japan, and there is an amazing article written in French behind a paywall, but I paid to read it, and I will share the translated alpha in a second video, because this video is all about some critical changes and announcements that have been made regarding the XRP ledger. And yes, if you hold XRP, it does affect you. Why? Well, it's about three things. First, the XRP ledger stability. Second, the XRP ledger reputation. And third, the XRP ledger proposed governance changes. So as a holder, you want to have a stable network that attracts builders, and builders bring value. As a holder, reputation does matter, specifically to attract the institutional investors. And as a holder, the governance proposal is asking for money in the form of an annual contribution from people like you and me. Let's get into it. The proposal came from Ripple by way of an engineer. This is David Fueling. He published the proposal yesterday on GitHub. In a nutshell, the proposal has caused more than a stir. There are validators that are leaving the network. Now keep in mind, this is just a proposal. And what he wants is a more formalized membership structure as the source for all authority and oversight over the XRP Ledger Foundation. That's really important to remember. He also proposes a new mechanism for electing the foundation's board of directors. And the XRP Ledger Foundation, which is currently located in Estonia, is organized as a nonprofit. But according to him, he doesn't believe it's clearly defined for the membership. So he has outlined these goals to increase representation, to have more clarity in the governance, and increase participation. He also wants to create membership classes. And when I mean classes, a tiered membership. The beginning membership starts at 75 XRP that's paid yearly. 500 XRP with 1 to 10 employees, so that represents kind of a small to medium-sized company, and up to 500,000 XRP for large companies. And then there is a highest membership, which is called the sustaining members. That is 1 million XRP per year. Now, the board would have bylaws, and it would have a corporate structure with a chair, a vice chair, a secretary, a treasurer, and an executive director. So I left my comment on GitHub as follows. In the introduction, the implication that the XRP Ledger Foundation requires oversight suggests a lack of self-governance, which is regrettable as it appears akin to a takeover. Negative actions by the DUNLs have already been observed as a result. And so the establishment of these different membership classes also, in my opinion, foster a division. It hints of classism, which is discriminatory. If a membership fee is to be implemented using a fixed fiat amount for the XRP, would be, I think, more practical than tying it to a set number of XRP tokens, because the price movement of the asset changes. For example, if you were going to fall into that sustainable category with 1 million XRP and the digital asset was priced at $5, that is a $5 million contribution annually. That's a little bit crazy. Now, On Ledger, who left about a year ago, and I know he's not easy-go-lucky for some, but he's an important contributor, even still today, to the ecosystem, for sure. Not everybody shares my feel, but that is how I feel, and it's okay if you disagree with me. It is what it is. The second infrastructure provider, however, who has left today was Alloy Networks. This is a most critical contributor. They not only are a voting validator, but they also provide the servers for peering. Currently, there's only 3 that operate those pool servers, one being Ripple Labs, the second one operated by Alloy Networks, and then one operated by ISRDC. There is a post that Alloy Networks left just in the last hour, and it goes on to say that it is time for the so-called enterprises to step up and run this decentralized system. What's the point of having a few players running critical infrastructure, arguably even one in this case, if indeed there are enterprises of any significant size actually using the XRP ledger? Well, one of those enterprise users is Sologenic. They are operating their Corium blockchain, which has a bridge, and they're under a major expansion with the XRP ledger. So if there are changes to the XRPL governance, I think that heavy users, especially profit-driven businesses, should be required to contribute to infra before taking money from the retail investors. And so I really hope that Sologenic steps up and starts running some infrastructure. Shortly after the Alloy Networks announcement today, we heard from Short the FOMO, who said he'll be decommissioning 2 mainnet nodes. His XApps will also be removed. So the time testing releases will be spent elsewhere. Participation on this network will be phased out, he says. Now, Mickey B. Fresh, he has had his situations with Off Ledger, and they didn't get along too well. So he says good riddance. But I don't necessarily think it's really good to flush them all out. He says it's for the best to flush out those that don't want to be here and don't have financial interest in the network. You wouldn't be leaving if you had a financial interest in the network. Well, I don't know. Mickey B and I get along very well, and we love to collaborate together. But this best incentive is no incentive is not working. In a space that I was in today, we were talking about how Evernode has been able to spin up nearly 3,000 nodes in, I don't even know, like 10 days. And so, incentive sometimes does create a healthy network and ecosystem and produces great decentralization. So I guess I don't fully agree that no incentive is the best incentive. And that's maybe one aspect of the proposal by the engineer David Fueling that is good. And Mayuka also chimed in and thought the same thing. Mayuka is one of the developers at Ripple. Let me read you her tweet. She's been on the channel, and I thoroughly enjoyed having her on, and I really enjoy watching her posts too. So she says that was actually one thing she liked about the proposal, that funding can come from diverse sources, including from businesses running on the XRPL, if they want to have a say in whatever this organization is. They need to pay. And some of those funds could be used for the infra. And then you have Gaz, who said, it's easier for people who build a business on the XRP ledger to just sponge off the legit infrastructure providers, the ones who do it for the love of the network and at their own expense. Rest in peace, decentralization on the XRP ledger. Well, Gaz, I hope that we're not going to say goodbye to decentralization and hello centralization. It's going to be a lot of discussions, conversations. I think there's going to be a lot of feelings that are hurt. I do know that everybody is most interested in what Wietse is going to say. He's left one comment on GitHub. Let me show you that. His comment is, XRPL Foundation appreciates the concerns put forward by Ripple and that the XRPL Foundation will look into options and consider frameworks, feasibility, and possibilities. I know there's a lot of discussions going on behind the scenes, but I do look forward to having Weitza Wind and Ripple give some public statements. And of course, Hugo is always paying attention. He said, if you care about operating quality infrastructure, competitive decentralized data, and meaningful decentralized governance, Flare is your network. Well, as you know, I am a big Flare network fan. And yeah, it hasn't been all rainbows and unicorns on figuring out the governance there, but yeah, it's working pretty good now. And it looks like the XRP ledger is going to go through a little bit of some rough spots. And in addition, there is one thing I want to point out from Panos. He says that the Stellar organization is supporting a delay of next week's planned Sotoban, which is their smart contracts upgrade, after a bug was found. Yeah, despite little risk, they say, it still is, a bug. And so it's a very good example, Panos says, of why amendments, especially big and new features, should never be rushed and must be tested thoroughly. And yes, I do look forward to bringing you the details of this article that appeared in the Swiss media about Ripple setting up shop in Switzerland, building out a team of 100. And it's going to be a big part of their business. I'm talking about custody. All right, everybody, do take care. Sayonara for now. Bye-bye.